Hey guys, it's Zeffie. So this week we are talking about how we connect to the other side, for lack of better words. With Halloween coming up, this is a Halloween Samhain, depending on what part of the spectrum you're on, where your beliefs are, what you celebrate, how you celebrate. It can be looked at as either way. I do a little bit of both because I have been raised, I was raised Christian, raised Catholic, and my favorite holiday has always been Halloween, for similar-ish reasons, for things that are a little more meaningful. On this path, my favorite of the Sabbats is Halloween. But, no, excuse me, Samhain. But regardless, people talk about, how we connect with things, how we connect with people, spirits, things of the sort that have passed, things on the other side. That's kind of a tough one for me because I feel like I do it without even realizing, or it's become more of part of my life, that I learned how to find little signs and things without really looking for them. I do have two spirit boards, Ouija boards, whatever you want to call them. I do call them Ouija boards just because they are, for people who may not, it's the more common term, for lack of better words. People know what that is. People hear spirit board. Most of the time they get it, but the Ouija board makes it more common. I don't use those really at all too often. Those are more for show, if I'm trying to explain things to people. Also, I think they're really pretty. If that's weird, I'm obsessed with them. But, I mean, there's that. I do feel like sometimes tarot cards can be used. I don't look at them necessarily as a signs from beyond thing, but if I'm like straight up trying to connect with someone that has passed, there are a few people in my life that I will try to connect to at certain times for whatever reason it is. This is a totally other video. If I need to get a point across, or if I need something that's getting a point across, I feel like it's not totally coming through when it should be, that I'm just not understanding something. I'll take out my cards and say, it's in your hands, go do it. There'll be that. I will notice little things. My big thing is there is someone from my past, to respect his privacy and that of his family and mine. I'm not going to say who exactly he is in relation to me, but he was a very important person who did pass. And when we would be together all the time, we would have songs that we'd love, that we'd understand. On the way to his funeral, a certain song kept popping up on the radio, and it was a popular song at the time, but even with it's a popular song at the time, when you listen to the song on one station, you flip to the next radio station and it's playing, and then you listen to the song, and then you flip to the next radio station and it's playing, kind of says something. And it wasn't like we caught it in the middle or towards the end. We caught it literally as every song was playing in the beginning. So I know that's always kind of been his sign for I'm here. We have other songs for today's gonna be a good day. We have signs for, kind of watch it, signs for be open, and it's all conveyed through music because that's how him and I connected. And those were songs that either matched up, that we were able to figure out meanings right near the time of his passing or before when he was alive and kicking. That's a big one for me. That is a huge one for me. I will look at dreams. The other big one is the same man who I have communications with through music. I have it all the time, and he's not a man who looks not a man who looks like everyone else. I feel like some people definitely have more features that are more common than those without certain features. But I'll meet people and I'll come across them who will look exactly like him, or will sound exactly like him, or behave the same way. And I've had a few times where it's someone who I could have swore to God was his twin. And I'm getting emotional now. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to start crying. Or I could have sworn it was his twin who had the same mannerisms, who their voices may be a little different, but their cadence and the way they spoke and the way they delivered their words were very similar. And turns out they had the same name or names starting with the same letter. And I take those very special as very special visits. Those people who do their best to not only just be like, hey, what's up, and show up in some, I don't know, ghostly figure, or show up in my dreams or whatnot, but to physically embody that this person's supposed to be there at that time. I think that's wonderful. I encourage people all the time who need to find a way to communicate with someone, or need a way to feel like they're with someone or someone's still around them, to find ways that while they were living that were personal to them. sometimes we all can't do that. I have a friend whose family, since this person has passed, they did not release any information through obituaries or whatnot. All services and interments were private and were not released to the public. They will not talk to any of his friends. There's some definite drama going on. Their family's not the greatest. So my friend is having to go through, trying to, go through court records and see what's available and what's not to the public, and that's really kind of difficult sometimes, depending on how much of an asshole, but depending on how asshole-like the family is being with it. Although I feel like burial records should be open, but, he could be sitting in someone's, sitting in an urn in someone's, on someone's mantle for all we know, and they wouldn't know that. So I tell her that we create holy spaces are not holy because something else makes them holy. Something becomes special, some things become holy, some things become of importance because we make them special. We make them of importance, we put value on them. Like cemeteries, for instance. Those are just plots of dirt. Those are just giant spaces. Most people, when they want to remember someone, go to their grave. This person can't do that, obviously, but if no body was ever buried there, if we did not treat that space with special treatment, it would not be special. So, what I tell her is go find a place in the woods, find a distinct tree, find something, go hiking, just find somewhere, find a space that you can sit and remember and think and just try to connect and put yourself out there and be open to love and messages, and you're going to say, and you're going to be like, that's going to be my place when I need to go visit him and I'm going to need to talk to him. Because in all reality, sitting there and talking to a stone or a plaque with someone's name and some dates on it, where someone's physical body, their shell, something that means nothing. After you die, your physical body means nothing. During your day is important. During your life, it's pretty important. You gotta take care of it, or else you don't have it anymore. But it's nothing. It is really, truly, madly, deeply nothing. The reason that they say, oh, there's ghosts in the graveyard, or this place is haunted, or this is whatever, is not because of what's in the body. It's because we put significance on it, and spirits are drawn to that significance. So, my advice for anyone who's dealing with that, or really in general who's looking for ways to connect, find some place, go put something special into it, go focus your energy on it, and it'll come. It will absolutely come. Spirit comes when it needs to, not when it wants to. So, yeah, that's that. I will see you guys next week. Y'all have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Toodles.